Good morning, fifth graders. This is your social studies and ELA integrated lesson for Monday, April 27th. So on Friday, I posted our lesson video for Why Can't I Vote If I Must Fight? If you're joining me for our Zoom meetings, we're going to read that story and discuss some comprehension questions. We will do that together on our Monday Zoom meeting. Again, if you ever miss a Zoom meeting, these videos are where you can go to get extra information. Your Monday assignment is pretty short today. So if you have anything that you're working on for science or anything that you need to work on for math, this is a really good day to get caught up. The only thing we're going to go over today are your vocabulary and comprehension assignment, and we'll go over that in our packet, and then you can work on that independently. And I'm going to go ahead and go over the graphic organizer for your question in your packet, comparing and contrasting the structures of two texts. And that is our standard that we're writing on. And then also that I can write informative pieces on a topic. Our standard today for your comprehension questions is I can quote accurately from the text and make inferences. I can also compare and contrast characters, settings, and events. And I can determine the meaning of academic vocabulary. So I'm going to go ahead and mark off. Of course, I'm assuming that you are working throughout the week on your warm-up. Those warm-ups should not take you more than about 5 or 10 minutes. And your two assignments for Tuesday shouldn't take more than 30 minutes. And then your assignment for for Monday and then for Tuesday probably shouldn't take more than 30 minutes as well. All right, so go ahead and get out your packet. And the story that we read was Why Can't I Vote If I Must Fight? We read that together on Zoom. If you haven't already read that, please go back to the April 24th lesson and watch the video and complete the assignment with me. Now we're working on vocabulary. So if you have a word, you might know a lot of these words, but if you don't, we're going to go ahead and write some information next to them. Sorry, I have my computer making noises at me. Defaced. Defaced. If you deface something, you ruin it or damage it. Drafted. Now we know about using a draft in our writing, but for this story, to draft means ordered to the military. And we know that during the story, any person that was 18 years or older, or any male that didn't have a family and wasn't in college, they might be drafted or ordered into the military. And that was something that happened quite a bit during the Vietnam War. Then there's draw. And draw is a verb, like you sketch or paint. But drawing can also mean to attract. So if you draw someone's attention, you attract it. Mature was one of our wordly wise words, acting like an adult. Probably don't need to add that one. And then the antonym of that is naive. So acting childlike. Proclaimed, we also had that as a wordly wise word. To announce. And if you are qualified to do something, you are fit to do it. And then quivered, and you might know what quivered means, but if you don't, we can write it on there. If something is quivering, it is shaking. All right, so your expectation for your activity today is to complete your vocabulary fill in the blank, and then also to write 2 new sentences, not taking them straight from the text and not using your vocabulary, but your own sentences. And these need to have correct spelling, punctuation, capitalization, all that good jazz. All right, and your next part of your activity, and we'll keep this kind of framework and set up for the next couple weeks, so it'll get really familiar. You have your 4 comprehension questions. Make sure you're using your reading strategies and test-taking strategies by marking answers that are incorrect and correct, going back to the text and looking at your evidence, all those things that we practice for our test-taking strategies. Then you have 2 comprehension questions, and these need to be written in complete sentences. And if you watch the video, we talked and brought up some of these exact same things that were in the questions. So if you get stuck for any answers, you can always go back and look at our video reading the passage. Is Brandon a responsible adult? Give 2 reasons from the selection to support your opinion. So I need 2 sentences. So I need reasons and explanations from the text. Question 6. How are Earl's situation with the board and Brandon's situation with being drafted similar? This is comparing and contrasting characters. In this case, we just want to know how they are the same. Now, it gives you 4 lines, so definitely they're going to want a really nice detailed sentence, or even possibly 2. All right, that's it for your Monday assignment. Remember I said it was going to be pretty short, but we're going to go ahead and on this video, since we have time, we're going to look at your Tuesday assignment. So it says complete the graphic organizer comparing and contrasting. That's our skill. The structures and the information within the text. Include several ideas in each section. Use the graphic organizer to write 2 paragraphs. Be sure to include topic sentences at the start of each paragraph. All right, so first off, we're going to look at voting in America, and then we're going to look at why can't I vote if I must fight. So structure of the text means how is it organized? What is the genre? How is it written? So what is the structure of our first story? How is it written? Well, you probably said something about it being a letter. A letter. And we even talked about how the end of a letter comes with a closing or in a signature. All right, and then let's look at our next one. What genre or style of writing is this one? Well, it's definitely fiction. And the type of fiction, could this have happened? Yep. And it is realistic. So if it is fiction, it's going to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. All right, so let's go ahead. We're looking at our graphic organizer, and we're going to fill in for the same. For different. So Voting in America was a letter. It had a closing and a signature. This genre was realistic fiction. And what are some parts that it had? It had a beginning, a middle, and an end. And it had characters and setting. All right, now were there anything about their structures that were the same? Do we have any text features in common? What is the style of writing? What are these things called? And do they have any other text features in common too? All right, so both of them were written with paragraphs. And both of them included illustrations, not photographs. And both of them had something at the bottom of each page. Do you remember what they had? Yep, they both have glossaries. All right, now I'm going to let you finish the last part on your own. But the last one is about the information. So what is something that both passages talked about or mentioned? They both have a similar topic. But this one had one focus and this one had another focus. So what was this one's main idea? And what was this one's main idea? And I'm going to let you, we marked all those when we read. We marked those when we read together on Zoom, and they're also, some of those things are highlighted in our video lesson. Now, you're already mostly done with your organizer. You just need to wrap up your organizer, and then you're going to write your paragraphs. But we said you need 2 paragraphs. So your first paragraph, you could either do same or different, but let's do same. So that's your both one. And then your second paragraph is going to be your different. And remember, this is like a Venn diagram. It just isn't in circle format. It's on a chart, which is how you're usually going to see it on the test. So we need a topic sentence. The 2 stories are alike in many ways, period. And I'm going to stop us here. I've gotten you your first topic sentence, and you're going to continue with your other ideas written in nice quality sentence format. Now remember, in addition to having your reading passages marked up where I can see that you've read them, in addition to answering your questions and your vocabulary, that's just completion. And there's actually keys where you can go in and you can watch the videos and you can update your work and look at it. But this is the main place that your assessment is coming from for your language arts. And remember, I'm going to be using our 6+1 writing traits. And if you'd rather write these on a Google document and share it with me, you have the information for how to do that. You're also welcome to write it on a separate piece of paper and use this as a place to write a rough draft. All right, that concludes our Tuesday, April the 28th, and Monday, April the 27th lesson. And I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll talk with you all soon.